What credit card should be in your wallet? I mean, there's tons to choose from. There's tons of advertising, what's in your wallet. But seriously, from a financial planner's perspective, what one credit card must be in your wallet? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. So what credit card should actually be in your wallet? Not using the Capital One catchphrase here, but what credit card should be in your wallet? We've got one recommendation that we suggest, and I'm going to connect it to a bigger idea here. But for a financial planner, certified financial planner, to talk about credit cards, that's like blasphemy, because so many people can abuse credit cards. But it's like fire. Credit, we've talked about this before. Credit and credit cards, it's like fire. I mean, you can use it to heat your food and cook a meal. You can use it to heat your house, but if you're not careful, it could burn your house down, right? So the big idea with credit and credit cards, you got to make sure you're using it responsibly, connected with your entire financial life. So, all right, so what's your credit card strategy? And what I mean by that isn't about interest rates and paying off debt and so on. I mean, that would be a debt snowball type video, which we'll probably do at some point on this channel. But I'm talking about points. The rewards, the perks of having the credit card. And just so you know, credit cards give you points because every time you swipe that card, they receive some fees. They get a little revenue there. And then, of course, from the folks that are paying interest, and they get revenue there as well. And so they will entice you to use their card so they get the swipe fee. And so that in case you use, you actually have to pay them interest, I mean, they're making profit on that. So if you can use it responsibly, you could have a meaningful strategy when it comes to using a credit card. So what's the best one? Is it one that gives you miles? Is it one that has some extra perks? If you spend it here, then you get 4% back, but if you spend it over here, it's 3% back. Over here, it's 1% back. I mean, is it the Apple Titanium card? Is it the Costco card? Before I tell you the one recommended credit card that I have, I would go big picture and tell you, you should have a credit card approach or credit card strategy. And your credit card, I would give you 3 rules for it. I mean, number one with your credit card strategy, do not pay interest. That's number one. Don't pay interest. Never pay interest, okay? I mean, that's how you win. That's the strategy. If you win by collecting the perks and not paying the interest. Bam. So that's how you get credit and credit cards to work for you. So that's number one. Never, ever, ever, ever pay interest. Number 2, don't have too many credit cards out there. So despite, the one that I'm sharing with you now, I mean, if you go to buy furniture and they offer a 0%, and if you do that, you get, X amount off the furniture, or you go to buy that new iPhone and you want to get their percentage back because that's such a big, expensive purchase. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons and perks and benefits of doing that. You've just got to manage it. If you have too many lines of credit out there, too many credit cards open, that can destroy your credit, okay? And so you've got to be very, very careful, and that's why we've talked about it here before. That's why I'd want you to get an annual credit report, not your score. I care about your score, but your score is derived from your report. So I would look at your credit report once a year. Free, annualfreecreditreport.com. I believe is what it is. And so that's the one that I go to. There's all sorts of different sites out there. And so go check that out. But that's where you make sure you don't have too many lines of credit open. Okay. So play the game. So make sure you're never paying interest, so that you're getting the perks, but not paying for them, number 1. Number 2, make sure you don't have too many lines of credit out there. And then number 3, use those perks, use those rewards to propel your financial life. Not just to splurge, but to propel your financial life. So what do I mean by that? Now, One way you could do that, accomplish number 3, is if you do travel and you want to use a credit card that has miles or travel points or whatever, so instead of, as you're saving up for vacations, instead of having to save up extra for flights, you just use your points. I am good with that. I am, because if you weren't using that, then you'd need to save up more money in your delayed spending account for your flights and for your vacation. So that would be an example. If you travel a lot, that would be an example of using points to accelerate, using the rewards to accelerate your financial life. My wife and I started with a miles card, and that was our idea. We were going to use the card, get travel points, and then use those to help fund vacations, and it didn't happen. We just never accrued enough and we don't travel that much, so it just didn't work for us. But if it works for you, awesome, okay? Costco's credit card, I know, has some perks as well, and if you shop there a lot, so I would just do that math, make sure that it's actually accretive to you. The one credit card that I'd recommend is one that if you play the game, you don't pay interest on it, okay? And if you make sure you don't have a bunch of other lines out there, a bunch of other credit cards, and this is your primary one, it can absolutely accelerate your financial life in a way that I haven't seen other credit cards do so. So what is it? And this is not a sponsored post. This is just a consumer and CFP, Certified Financial Planner, looking around at all sorts of options saying, you know what, this one seems to be the best option. And that's the Fidelity Signature Visa card. And so why would I say that? Why would I say that's the one that stands above all the others? 2 reasons, simply. Number one, it offers 2% cash back. There's no games, there's no gimmicks, there's no, well, this month, anything you spend at a restaurant will give you 3% back. Other than that, it's 1.5%. No, there's no gimmicks. You get 2% cash back on everything. So that's one. But number 2, the second reason why I would say this is the one credit card you've got to have in your wallet is that cash back, those rewards, those points can go directly into your Fidelity investment account. And then you can use that money. I mean, if you said, well, we're going to buy a new vacuum cleaner for that, or we're going to do something else that we would have normally saved up money for, but we're going to use those perks, that's fine. But by sort of convenience, the money's already in an investment account that you can then use to invest or enhance your overall nest egg. So think about that. And I know sometimes it's fun to get credit card rewards or points and then splurge and blow the dollars and get a gift card or whatever. I mean, nice. But what if for the next 20 years, the next 30 years, the next 40 years, instead of getting those little trinkets or those gift cards, all of those rewards, number one, you knew they were good, it's 2% cash back. You can find better out there based on gimmicks, but that's consistent with no gimmicks, 2% cash back, and all of that money is invested. I mean, think about what could be accumulated for your financial life over time. Let me tell you what we did. So Cindy and I, we had a miles card. I'm not going to tell you which company. We had a miles card, and we just didn't travel that much. So the convenient thing about it was I could apply those points to my Amazon account. And so when I'd make an Amazon purchase, sometimes I could just use the points. And great, it helped accelerate our spending, or instead of spending to buy this item, we use points for it. Okay, great. And then the more and more I looked around, I'm like, well, we don't really need to do that. We should be budgeting for those spending dollars. So we didn't spend money to buy this thing, we used points. Well, that means we've got extra in our bank account, now we splurge that, right? So I said, there's gotta be a better way. And through working with Kevin Korhorn and a few other people here at our office, because we manage money at Fidelity, it was like, well, wait a second, the Fidelity Visa, the Fidelity Signature Visa card, if those points just go directly into an investment account, that makes it easy. So Cindy and I, we opened up the Fidelity Visa Signature Visa cards a few years ago, and we opened up a trust account as well. And so you can log in to fidelity.com, you can direct where you want those points to go, and once those points reach a certain level, they start dripping those points in cash back directly into that trust account. And then once a year or every so often, I'm taking that money from that trust account, transferring it right over to my wife's Roth IRA, to Cindy's Roth IRA. I mean, You talk about how to, that third rule that I had about your credit card strategy, how to use these points to accelerate your financial life. What if you took all of the points that you're going to accrue from a credit card, from using credit cards over your lifetime, and you invested them in an account that's tax-free for the rest of your life? Powerful, powerful. So have a credit card strategy. Have a credit card strategy. Heat your food, heat your home, don't burn it down. So never pay interest. Never, ever, ever, ever. And if you have in the past, that's okay. I'm not shaming you. Let's get a program right now, 3 bank account system, to get out of that credit card debt forever and never have to use it again, but then just use credit. Use your credit card to get points and to maintain your credit, which is the second thing. Don't have too many lines of credit out there. I like having a couple lines for emergency, whatever, but having one primary card. One primary card. This is the one that we use. Makes it easy, makes it simple. And then 3, that's the card that accelerates the financial progress we're trying to make. To us, that's the Fidelity Signature Visa card. So this is not a paid promotion. It's just a perception out there from a consumer and a certified financial planner on a strategy and a card that works and meets those rules. So work with your certified financial planner on this. If you have credit card debt or you've got lots of debt that you're trying to overcome, that's a goal of yours, contact your CFP. If you don't have a 3 bank account system and a credit card that can fit within that, work with your CFP. So hopefully that helps. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or just send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.